What's up, my fucking dirty honkies? I'm Chelsea, and this is my 1993 RX-7 FT.
Oh yeah, let's take a trip. Just sit back and light a spliff with this and don't slip on a funky dope track. Jump back, strapped with a fat Buddha sack and a 7/8 lack. Don't clean, gangsta lean. I got green, but I serve dubs like it ain't no thing. I hang with OG players, don't set trip, or you might get what we call a rat pack.
So for me, it was always a dream to do a mid-engine in an RX-7, and it just so happened that this one popped up for me. When I got this car, it was an absolute bare shell. There was nothing to it, and it definitely didn't look like how it looks today. So back here, we have a 2.7 liter Audi twin turbo that's mated to a Passat transaxle. This is a little bit of a weird design, and honestly, a lot of people ask me why the Audi, and the reason for that, very transparently, it wasn't my choice. It's just what I happened to have at the shop at the time. There was 2.5 months until SEMA. It was symmetrical, it looked good, it fit, so it's in there. I've learned to love it. And the Passat transaxle actually came from the fact that I was going to use a W8 engine, which is a really cool engine. If you don't know about those, we could totally do a video talking about that, but unfortunately that didn't work out timeline-wise, so we have our 2.7 liter Audi. As far as horsepower goes, we're probably sitting just around the 500 mark. It's a really light car, so it's got a lot of get up and go, and it is a pretty good time. One of the hardest parts for me when I was building this car was actually ensuring that the geometry was correct and the car would continue to drive down the road in a straight line. So building my own exoskeleton proved to be really challenging for those reasons. Making sure that everything was balanced and it was symmetrical. It did turn out absolutely fantastic, and I'm really happy with how it is. I used a mashup of the components from the FD that were pre-existing, and then making my own custom parts as well. So this was my first time ever working with carbon fiber, and it got a little bit crazy and a little bit exciting, and I wanted to bring in as much carbon fiber as I could to the interior, as there is so much in the exterior. So you'll see in the engine bay here that everything is skinned or is 100% carbon. Lined in the carbon is a 24 karat gold foil. So each one of these pieces I hand tore with 2 pairs of tweezers in the shop for hours and had to hand lay with tweezers. And the reason for that is you will have a tendency to actually tarnish the gold, or you will flatten it and you lose dimension. So it doesn't look like it might be complex, but this was actually one of the more complex aesthetic points of the entire car. Now that we've made it into the interior, you'll see that it really pops in here. This was a big focal point for me. I'd love to do some white in the car, so that's what I ended up doing. Bolted to the floor here, I've got some custom Status racing seats. I've also got my Status carbon fiber steering wheel, and it just folds in really well with the carbon fiber and the gold I have in the interior. So all of the pieces in here are custom made, and they are custom upholstered. They're a nice blend of the carbon fiber with the gold foil and the white upholstery with the orange stitching. I think the whole thing just pops and looks so wicked cool. One of my favorite parts of this car is I cut the entire floor out, and it is now 100% flat bottom. Underneath, it is base coat, mid coat, clear coat to match the exterior of the car. It is something that doesn't get seen very often, but I am really proud of. Behind me here, I have my firewall, and up top, I have my bulletproof plexiglass. The sunroof was a feature that I never initially planned for, but post sandblasting, it became something that I had to do on the timeline that I was dealing with. And honestly, it turned out really sick, and I'm actually starting to love it. During the sandblasting process, the metal on the roof was already pretty compromised prior, and due to the heat and the impaction of the sandblasting process, it pitted it so badly that yes, I could have shrunk the metal and tried to restore integrity of the roof, but because of the timeline, it just wasn't something that made sense to do. Here you can see I've got my center console. Obviously another custom piece to fit with this entire wicked cool interior. Carbon fiber with the gold flake, having the complement of the rest of the upholstery. A little bit of inspiration here from the Tesla to have my iPad here. Really sweet, just in case you get bored as my passenger and you want to play Candy Crush. There you go, got it all set up for you. So a big part of building this car was actually making sure that there was some function to it and not just form like my last build was. So the guys who know ball see this thing driving down the street and understand that it is mid-engine, being that my hood here is a functional downward facing duct that feeds into my radiator. We'll clip to some B-roll so you guys can actually see that. But everything built around this is more so just from the aesthetic point of view to be able to close in the frunk that we have here. But it is fully functional, and I think honestly it's a really wicked cool part of the car. So all of my cold side runs from an inverted trans tunnel, if you will, that you saw in the interior being under the center console. So I really like this part of the car. I think up here it just has a really cool curb appeal to it as well. And hey, it's awesome that it also functions. For the wheels, this is a favorite wheel of mine. I'm trying really hard not to put it on every car I own, but if you know, you know. These are the Workmeister S1s. I love these wheels. These were actually given to me by a really good friend of ours, and it just so happened that they were the perfect spec. They came off of his NSX, and they fit this car absolutely perfect. So I love the way this turned out. Having that little bit of orange too just sort of ties the whole thing together. I just think they're wicked. For this custom swap, I did also end up making my own custom axles, so they are half the Passat side and half the FD side. Moving on to the exterior of the car, I'm really excited about how the body turned out. I did make this entire body kit out of 100% metal. That is something that I'm really proud of as a body man, to be able to have it turn out quite like this with almost limited to no experience doing 100% metal work without using filler. The paint color on this car is actually one of my favorite things. I probably have said that about every aspect of this car thus far, but the inspiration for this was sort of that really rich teal ocean blue. This is a tri-coat, so sandwiched in between the base and the clear here is a DX78 by PPG, so it's got that really cool layered metallic rainbow look to it. Hopefully we can catch that on camera. This thing really stands out. I absolutely just love how much it pops, and having that USC01 House of Colors clear just brings it all together. So I gotta say, this turned out exactly how I wanted it to, and really gives the whole car that Miami Vice feel with the teal and the orange. All right, jump in boys, we're gonna go find out where the huzz is at.